Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Caitie.
And tonight we are joined by our illustrious historian, Doug Marsh.
Doug Marsh.
The one and only.
Hello there. Hello.
And before we do anything else, though, did you know that all of the sound effects in Disneyland Handcrafted were recreated at Skywalker Sound because they didn't have any?
I actually did know that.
Did you know that, Doug?
No, I had not heard that. But bear in mind, some of us didn't get to go to a sneak preview at the Walt Disney Studios.
I had
a friend who was just saying that people were going to one down in Florida and wondering how to get to go to that. And I said, well, you know what? Just spend several years working very hard on a website and a podcast and providing content online, and then you'll get perhaps invited to something like that.
That's it. That's all.
That's exactly it is, and there's no magic formula to do it, other than consistency, hard work, and then a lot of luck. I feel like. All right, should we get to the show?
I think so.
Okay, it's a little bit different tonight. We had to figure out how to make this all work, and I think it's working great. So hopefully we'll see if this works through a whole half hour. But we have a new Avengers Doomsday teaser that came out this morning, as has been the trend all month, and this is the fourth one. Actually, I'm sidetracked, guys. We can almost do the Brady Bunch thing of looking over at each other. See, there you go.
I just figured it out.
Yes, I have to go the other way. That's weird. Okay, it's like
We're
being
not mirrored.
Yeah, it's like the Muppets. Anyway. This time we went to Wakanda and we saw the Black Panther and we saw the King of Wakanda and the Thing from Fantastic Four. What did you think of this, Caitie?
Everybody else gets their own, which is like really what's bothersome here. It does remind me, there's a meme I reference really, really frequently of a Snapchat somebody sent at a college party, and it's an old woman sitting on a couch, and it says, so there's a 45-year-old woman here. That's how I felt when Fantastic Four showed up. I was like, but this is Black Panther's trailer. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I think it looks fun.
Well, and Chris makes a very good point, is these actually are clues. They're story clues.
Oh.
They're not. The Russo brothers posted on Instagram today that they're not teasers. They're story clues. Did you get to see it, Doug?
I did not actually.
Oh, you're going to have to check it out.
I was taken aback. I thought that they had rolled out so many of them before that there wasn't anybody left. And yet they keep.
Well, think about how many chairs there were.
That's true. That like 2-hour, 3-hour long live.
Yeah, there's a lot of. They still have a lot of chairs to get through. Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing what they come up with next with these story clues that I'm still probably going to call a teaser, and I hope there's not too many of them, and we're not able to figure things out too easily. I will just say that with story clues. Keep us guessing and teasing, and even if they're misdirection a little bit, I'm okay with that too. But all right, Disneyland Handcrafted will be coming out on January 22nd. I almost said July. I don't know why, but that'd have been disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah.
So many good things Disney happen in July.
That is true. That's very true. But we did have the opportunity to attend the world premiere of it last Thursday night and got to hear Leslie Iwerks speak about it, which is where we did get that quote that we learned that there was no audio in the videos that they used for this hour-and-a-half documentary, which means that they had to recreate all of them up at Skywalker Sound. And I might have done you all a disservice by telling you this, because the moment we all heard that, we were so tuned into the audio and the Foley and like how things lined up. And I will just say, you're never going to listen to construction the same way again. And same with the Mark Twain.
But I will say I forgot multiple times during Disneyland Handcrafted.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I'm really good at suspending disbelief. If you like, I worked with puppets a little bit too long in my past career, so I'm really good at being like, oh, there's no person there. This is just my reality now. But like, I did forget multiple times because I was like, it's so good. And like, it's so immersive and it does tell a whole story that you're like, yeah, that is the sound that would make. You're never like, Oh, that's a rough sounding car horn.
Well, and I will say, when you get to the Mark Twain Bell part, you see how very good they did with this. Like, that blew my mind. We will be talking more about Handcrafted more next week, mainly because we will have hopefully reviewed it again gotten a screener by then. And if not, that's okay, because we can still talk a lot about it. We will have our full review up before then. So be sure to come back next week, and we will have more thoughts on that, more thoughts on the tour of the Walt's office was last week also, and just what it's like to be at a premiere on the Walt Disney Studios lot, which is, have you ever done that, Doug, on the lot?
Oh, yes.
What was your first
I've
time?
done premieres at the studio. Piglet's Big Adventure and Princess and the Frog.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
And that was a nice premiere. And yeah, they've done a few there. And then for like special events and things like that.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, lots of special events through the years, but I don't think I might have done a premiere there. I can't remember now.
I've definitely never done a premiere there.
The big topic of tonight, which we are rushing through everything else to get through, and we will return in just a few minutes, or a little more than a few minutes, to one other news story of the day, just because we all like to talk about food. But before we get into all of that, yesterday, Downtown Disney turned 25 years old officially, I think we could say. And with that, they revealed a new logo, and it's really actually reminiscent of the past, which is great. But one of us was here on the opening day. One of us was there a few days before the opening days. And I don't know what the third person... Thank you, Doug. And I don't know what the third person's story is. Do you remember your first time, Caitie, to Downtown Disney?
No.
Okay.
Because when Downtown Disney opened, I was indeed 4 years old.
There you go.
At least you're not saying, at least you're no longer saying, and I wasn't born yet, when I talk about things like
progress.
We've really made a lot of progress on that. It's feeling good.
Yes, we have.
Lots of progress.
Hard to believe. I'm going into my 6th year writing 30 years ago at Disneyland.
Wow.
And as Mr. Daps pointed out, we've caught up to Mr. Daps.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Last year.
He said, that was the annual pass that I bought the first time.
Uh-huh.
So now it's going to be
Disneyland.
entering his nostalgic era.
Yeah. I mean, we could really mess with people someday, and I guess we'll need to wait a few. I think 97 is my first roll of pictures from Disneyland that I have.
Oh, those are good.
And if I can find some, maybe I'll throw a couple at you that you can add to your monthly post, and we can do a collab. But that would actually be pretty funny and weird.
I've done it before. This month's article, I had to get Jason Schultz, who of course does Parkendium and has been digitizing all my photos for me. But I had to ask him, do you have a picture of the double-decker bus? And that sparked him then remembering, oh yeah, the double-decker bus. Told me a couple of funny stories, one of which can never be repeated. And there's a few of those out there. But I remember my first time inside Downtown Disney because we'd been watching, I put a little flavor of this in the article of watching it being built. And they really kept everything under wraps. But when the monorail reopened, and that was weird. Mm-hmm. Do you remember, by any chance, Mr. Daps, riding the monorail back and forth on the one-way stretch of track?
I do.
Because they broke the beam over where they were digging the big tunnel along Harbor Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
And the hotel guests were unhappy. So when they got that station ready, they built like a little hamster trail through the construction site, and they actually put a couple of little windows in it, and then one monorail would run back and forth between Tomorrowland and the station using the short section of track.
Yep.
And so it was interesting because it meant that the pilot was in the back for one journey, and because they were in essence backing us up into whichever one that they were facing forward for. And but as we were watching, we could see that it was getting closer and closer. And then right near the end of the year, they started pulling down the fences and cleaning things up. Mm-hmm. And so even though I had been in there on the 31st for New Year's with friends. I was there the next morning.
Nice.
And to my surprise and astonishment, it was open. Now, not all the shops and stores were open. I don't remember if World of Disney was open on the first, but I know that by the second, that was the big one that everybody was most excited about, was World of Disney. Because we had all seen the huge shops, or most of us had seen the huge shops that were in Florida, and we had nothing even remotely equivalent in California. You know, we had the shopping centers that were connected, the shopping plaza that was connected to the Disneyland Hotel.
Right.
But that was not nearly as big, and it didn't have all of that whimsical theming. Remember the big sky machines?
Uh-huh.
All that stuff. That's all gone now.
No.
Yes, that was it. And then, of course, to finally find out what all the shops were going to be.
Yeah.
So what was your first visit, you were saying?
So mine must have been right after New Year's, because I remember we were able to go in, and I remember seeing it from above as we were coming down, down the ramp or whatever. And then the thing that really we were geeking out about was we were walking up and you saw the piano for the Jazz Kitchen. You remember that bedazzled piano that was inside
in the courtyard?
No, it was in that room on the right. And
in the main dining room on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, I don't. What I remember from Jazz Kitchen, of course, was the figure of the Jolly Chef with the gumbo pot, with the crawdad and the fish and the gator, who was much too big for the gumbo pot. So we guessed, okay, it's just his head, but he's still smiling.
Whatever keeps him happy. But yeah, I remember us geeking out over that piano because we just had never seen anything like it before. And even the lights in downtown Disney, like everything was so unlike anything I'd seen in Minnesota. We don't have outdoor malls really in Minnesota. So I remember that was really, you just kind of looked up there and everything was so bright and lights and colors, and it just was unlike anything we'd experienced before. And I don't remember actually spending much time. We looked at it, it was cool, and then it was like, all right, to the park, Like it was it was not our destination. It was just kind of one of those cool things that, you thought about later, but I think we were more interested in getting on rides back then.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing, of course, is it's hard for a lot of people to remember what were the original shops. What was the original lineup of shops? And I've had people, swear to me, I know that Ann Geddes was there at the beginning. And there are other people who say there was an Ann Geddes shop. And yes, there was an Ann Geddes shop, which you could buy very strange and slightly creepy figurines of little tiny sleeping babies. And and then other people, Build-A-Bear, even I am not certain whether Build-A-Bear was there when they opened. Now, bear in mind, the article is based on pre-opening, and then there are a few pictures that were from just slightly after. In fact, there are two photos in there that were taken one day when I was walking through, and they were directing everyone around a bee swarm. And so if you look closely at the pictures, there's a bee swarm up in the tree. But one way that I was able to confirm what was there was, of course, this. I'm going to move up here to make sure I don't have glare on this. So this was the very first, it's either the first or second brochure that was offered. It's actually dated down on the bottom, January 19th through 25th, 2001. Since January 12th was the opening. And this actually functioned as a guide map, just like the guide maps in the park. And that meant that, of course, it had inside a map in the style of
the parks,
the theme park. You see there? And then it included a schedule of events. And there it is, telling you who was playing. And for 3 days, you could have gone to the House of Blues to see Social Distortion perform, the legendary Fullerton punk rock band. And or you could go over to the ESPN Zone and see them taping Up Close
Ooh.
for ESPN. And also they had Gregory Isaacs and Freak Daddy. And they had Eric Sardinas. And as I said in the article, I don't know if he set his guitar on fire, but possibly. And then for Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen, they just say live jazz, and then they just have it listed for all the time.
Some things never
But
change.
Yes. So this was very, very helpful in finding, what was being done.
So does that list out all the stores too, Doug?
Yes, it does.
And was Build-A-Bear on that list?
Well, here's what's interesting. This one right here there's shopping right there.
Okay, yeah.
This close. There's shopping. But I also have a second brochure. And this brochure is slightly smaller. But this was also from the very first season. And inside, it breaks down in 3 double pages: entertainment, and then dining. And it has a complete list and description of each of the shops.
Okay.
And then here is shopping.
Okay.
Now, here's the interesting thing. The guide map, which is dated for the 19th, does not have Build-A-Bear on it. But I found when I was looking through this that Build-A-Bear Workshop is listed in this brochure.
And do you remember when you got that one?
This one possibly came after the other one. But I do know this much. This one is dated for exactly 1 week after the grand opening. It does not have Build-A-Bear on it.
So it makes you think that Build-A-Bear wasn't done on time.
Yeah. And I seem to recall that the Department 56 store occupied virtually that whole building except where Wetzel's Pretzels was there at the end.
Yeah.
So I have kind of a little amusing anecdote about this brochure.
Fire away.
Here. When I used to belong to the old NFFC, I every now and then would be asked to do a presentation. In January, we would do what was called a kickoff convention, which was just a one-day event Saturday, followed by a show and sale on Sunday. And on the one-day event, we would just do a series of quick seminars. And I was asked that year, 2001, to do a seminar on collecting Disneyland paper ephemera, because I had been entertaining people with, just like tonight, entertaining people with paper.
Or Sunday Disneyland.
So that's right. Like, you never know what's going to come out of the bag. It's like, oh, by the way, here's a letter that was written in 1965 to. Anyway, so I did the presentation, and I had a lot of very rare paper, and I had a lot of very fun paper. And at the end of it, I said, it used to always drive me crazy when I would watch a lot of these presentations and see people who have all these things that now either are not available or the prices have gone up so much on them that nobody really can afford to start collecting now, because they were starting to charge like $5 for some of these brochures. And I just couldn't imagine paying that much for a brochure from 1955 or 56. But I said to them, I started collecting a long time ago when I was in high school. And at the time that I was collecting then, a lot of these things weren't that old, but now they are. I said, today when I walked into this hotel, there was a brochure rack out in the lobby. And on the brochure rack, they had 2 racks filled, and I held this up, with this brochure for Downtown Disney. And I said, and I'm sure you don't really think, this isn't very historical. It's, something that's going on right now. But I said, someday, 20 or 30 years from now, this brochure is going to have everything that was in Downtown Disney on the very first week it opened. So if you ever, want to start without having to pay a thing, you could start with that. And, nice little round of applause. And afterwards, I'm standing and talking with friends and things. And then on my way out, I just happened to glance over at the brochure rack. And can you guess? It was stripped bare. Every brochure was gone for
so you're
Downtown
saying you made
Disney.
A difference.
I guess, or maybe there's a bunch of them put away, or whatever happened with them.
Yeah, hopefully not just one person grabbed them all. So going back to old school downtown Disney before all the transformations, and it's quite a bit different now than it was. What was maybe we'll start with Caitie. What was your favorite place to either eat or go at downtown Disney?
Easy, because I was a very small young girl who loved glitter. So obviously Club Libby Lou is 100% my answer.
We'll count it.
Yeah, Club Libby Lou, which then turned into Disney 365, which then turned into the Disney Dress Shop.
About halfway, right by the entrance to the Grand Californian.
Right across from Sephora.
It was now originally Petals.
There we go.
And Petals was a specialty leather shop.
Okay.
As people seek out.
Maybe that should have stayed in Frontierland. I don't know. Doug, what was your favorite either restaurant or store or whatever back in the day that's no longer in downtown Disney?
Way back in the day, I like the vibe. But in later years, my favorite was when they put Earl of Sandwich back.
I was like, which time?
That's when the first Earl of Sandwich replaced Compass Books,
which is what I was going to answer as my favorite.
Right, and then they were going to put, and then they put Earl of Sandwich down where La Brea Bakery was. But if I had to choose a favorite place just to hang out, I really liked Starabilius.
Oh yeah, that was good too.
Starabilius had genuine show business collectibles and autographed items, and it was really fun. Once again, couldn't necessarily afford them, but it was fun to look.
I don't think I could afford anything in there if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was expensive. I loved, which was right near Compass Books. I loved Compass Books back in the day, and that was probably the most magical bookstore of my memory.
There was a book nook, and I used to wait to get picked up by my mom, waiting in that, like, it was a weird, like, there was a pillar and then you could go behind it and read books. I would go hang out there.
It was at the very, very far east end, west end of the restaurant, or the bookstore. And yes, and it became then like a little dining area when Earl of Sandwich came in. And do you also remember the outdoor kiosk?
Yeah, that was a great building.
Yeah, it really was.
So next question, and then we're gonna do the big double-decker reveal.
Yes.
What is your favorite thing there now?
Okay, so I'm gonna say something controversial. Everyone just forget everything about me for a second.
Okay.
My favorite place is actually Ballast Point. I think there's something Ballast Point, the brewery. I think it's really nice. They have this really nice outside patio area that's above downtown Disney. You can also sit up by a window and just people watch, which is like my favorite thing to do at Disney parks, is just watch people do things. Extra points if it's raining and you sit at that window or the bar at the window and you just like watch everybody scatter. Very fun. But I think the vibe is fun, and it kind of has that like laid back nightlife that DTD 1.0. Everyone talks about DCA 1.0. What about DTD? But I think it captures that vibe and that essence of what the original Downtown Disney was shooting for. And I just love to hang out and take friends there and all types of stuff.
All right, Doug, what's your favorite?
I haven't gotten to as many of the new venues because I keep waiting for all the new venues. I'm intensely curious to see the new Earl of Sandwich and the Gordon Ramsay restaurant up above.
The Carnaby.
But right now, what I kind of like is Parkside Market.
Oh, yeah.
And go upstairs. And there's not just that one dining area that overlooks the stage. There's also an outdoor patio that's over the coffee shop that no longer has an identity. And you can almost always find table seating up there.
Yeah.
And something I highly recommend is the grilled Brussels sprouts. And I just learned something I probably should have known already. whichever one of the downstairs counters you go to order at,
Uh-huh.
you can order the same menu from either counter.
Yes.
Because of course, and now I didn't always knew it was coming out of the same kitchen, but just recently they took way too long to get my order ready for me. It was some sort of oversight or something. And so the manager, to apologize, said, "Would you like a dessert or something?" And I said, "Tell you what, I'd like the grilled Brussels sprouts." And I mentioned I would have ordered them anyway, except I was ordering from Soul Sisters. And they said, "Oh, you can order our menu over there and their menu over here. So you can do that."
That's cool. That's very cool. I'm gonna go with Ballast Point as well. I'm gonna still give it to Ballast Point, even though they don't have their smash burger anymore, and I'm very upset about this.
Known that was coming.
There's not many
Doesn't
things.
it still say smash burger on the building?
No, that's you're thinking Black Tap.
Black Tap. That's downstairs.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the one upstairs is the one I loved their smash burger, but they're still good. Like, I still enjoy them. The vibe is great, and I also really enjoy Splitsville. Like, Splitsville is a lot of fun as well, and that's, can't go wrong with that. And we've done a lot of chalk events there, so that would be probably up there at the moment as well.
Splitsville also did something that kind of annoyed me about House of Blues, but I understand House of Blues wanted to be a completely self-contained experience.
Sure.
But they're right next to the monorail track.
Yeah.
And so Splitsville upstairs has a room where there are windows, and you can sit and you can watch the monorail zipping back and forth.
Best window ever.
Right
It's the
outside.
best
You're
window.
right at eye level
yeah.
with it. It's really cool.
So good. So good. Well, I guess, should we reveal the bus, Doug? And you want to talk about your story behind the bus?
Do we have a moment for just one quick one?
Sure.
Here's the great trivia question for you. According to my count, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 3. There are 4 definite original vendors in their same location in downtown Disney from opening day. Do you know
So
what
that'd
they
be-
are?
So third parties.
Naples Jazz Kitchen. Wetzel's. And
My pen just broke.
am I close?
Well, now we're going to, as a gimme, World of Disney.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
So that'd be 4.
So you have one more that is definitely exactly in the same place, same location, and then Naples, got remodeled slightly, and then Jazz Kitchen got remodeled
Majorly. Yeah.
And I don't count Marceline's because it's really a different candy store.
Oh, yeah. It's and it
It's in the same
expanded
place
too.
as Marceline's.
Yeah.
And Catal,
That's gone.
that's gone. Okay. But the last one, definitely. Lego store.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
The Lego store. Lego store is there.
Wait,
So
that might actually be
that's-
my favorite.
Yeah, you love the Lego store.
I don't know how I missed
Mention
that. Yeah, that one probably is my favorite. All right. Tell us about the red bus.
Yeah, that brings us to the first thing to disappear.
Yes.
And the part of the thing about downtown Disney when they opened it, and along with California Adventure, was that they expected that it was going to be an enormous immediate hit, and that they were not going to be able to possibly handle the enormous crowds of people that were going to materialize. And so they released on the guide map, and I showed this in the article. Read the article. The back of this one included this nice little guide, and they were also illuminated kiosk directories all over the resort.
Yeah.
And one of the items that's on it that's kind of unusual is right here along this side. Let's see if my finger will. Yeah, there it is, right there. A pale green line, and it just says the double-decker bus. And I understand, Mr. Daps, you are among those who have an odd, vague memory
I do.
of the double-decker buses. And by the way, it is buses plural. And they ordered 2 of these, and the idea was the enormous crowds of people who would be using the surface lots. There were at least 4 surface lots when they opened. And this would make its way all the way from the Pinocchio lot, which is where Toy Story is now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry,
Or
Pixar.
Pixar.
Pinocchio
Yeah.
lot, which is where Pixar is now. And then it would go all the way down to that odd little traffic circle that you find next to Pixar Pier, the Pixar Place Hotel. And there was at least one intermediate stop there where near the ESPN zone, currently Lululemon. Have you ever noticed that roadway that's there?
Yeah.
That there's an actual concrete and with full curbs and everything. Lately, they have painted a portion of it with harlequin squares, and they've also put some planters in it to kind of make it go away, but it's still there. Well, that was for the use of these two double-decker buses that were going to be on continuous operation to handle the enormous crowds of people. Well, what they discovered very early on was that there hardly anyone was riding them because there just weren't that many people who were traveling up and down the far western side of downtown Disney. And also, another thing about them is they needed to have a place to store them. And since they were double-decker, they wouldn't fit inside the parking structure.
Of course.
So what they did is they made the top telescoping. And I used to remember driving in and seeing these two weirdly flattened double-decker buses parked down in the Chip and Dale section.
Wow.
And I will tell you one of the stories I was told that I can relate is that not long after 9/11, when they were upping security all over the resort, those two buses for a period of time were parked at the end of one of the streets they wanted to guard. They were being used as a literal barricade to keep people from driving vehicles into the resort. And so if any of you have a photo of that, I would love to see it. In fact, I would love to see a photo of either one of those parked in Chip and Dale. For whatever reason, it never occurred to me to take a photo of that. I may be wrong, but I thought I saw them used a couple of times for special events at the resort when they wanted to fill them with like crowds of school kids and things like that.
Okay.
But if you took a close look at that, can you put it up again for just a moment? And it's not, frankly, a terribly attractive vehicle.
No,
it's very utilitarian, and this was intended to be a real workhorse. And it's funny because just the front end, the grill, has a little detailing on it, but the rest of it, as you can see, it's super graphics.
Yeah.
And what color is it, Mr. Daps?
Well, you're telling me it's orange, but I was thinking it was a red.
I think it's like orange and it veers into red.
Okay, like maybe we'll go with that. What do you think it is, Caitie?
I think it's red. I'm so sorry. And I'm not saying this because this is the person that is still right next to me when the camera turns off.
Comments. We want to hear in the comments what color is the bus.
Can't reach over there and there you go.
All right. Well, we are running out of time. So if you want to see more pictures of downtown Disney from around opening day, I should say, head on over to Daps Magic, and we'll also have the link in the show notes so you don't miss them there as well. We have one more thing to talk about, though, before we say goodnight, and that is Lunar New Year. The celebration starts in about a week and a half. What is everybody, if you've had a chance to look at the food or not, like what do you most look forward to with Lunar New Year at Disney California Adventure?
Did you ask what it's the year of?
Year of the Horse.
It's Year of the Horse.
Year of the Horse.
Horse color.
Roger says he thought the bus was orange.
Okay, there's 2 and 2. We'll see.
I will say, looking at the menu, new this year they have dakboki, which is like a Korean spicy rice cake dish. Super stoked on that. And as always, stoked about the quesadilla egg rolls. But the dakboki, just give it to me. I'm so sorry that I hit my mic.
You know, that's okay. Is there anything you're looking forward to, Doug?
I always look forward to all of the beautiful decor and the music. And it's always nice when they switch it up because, we get over there often enough that it's nice to see it when they take the time and they make the effort.
Yes.
And I haven't had a chance to look at all of the food offerings that are coming up, but I hope that they have something that what you were describing sounds awfully good. So I'm going to have to take a look at that.
There's a Kung Pao Bao that has, I'm forgetting what it's basically imitation chicken.
Yeah.
And that one looked interesting to me. We will see if it's good or not. We'll have coverage of that up in the next week or two, and it'll be a lot of fun. But we are running out of time. So, Caitie, what should people do?
You should go to dapsmagic.com. You should check out all the Disney and positive stuff as it happens. Go read a review of Disneyland Handcrafted. Go read Doug's article. 30 years is so ingrained in my brain for the branding. 25 years ago at Downtown Disney. Also go to patreon.com/dapsmagic to join Dapsmagic AQ HQ. It is our secret headquarters that is so secret we tell everybody where to go.
It's like the Disney Vacation Club. It's the best kept secret.
Exactly.
There you go.
And join us there. We actually have a post show for this show, and it is a whole lot of fun. So
it is. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You don't want to miss any of the videos we have going up. We've got a lot of Disneyland band this week, so hopefully you like the band and hopefully you enjoy these videos. Doug was actually with me, I think, for some of the filming of those. And thank you so much for being on tonight, Doug. It's been a blast.
Yes, and one last quick plug.
Yes.
I saved some material for 5 years from now when this opening is 30 years ago at Disneyland. And there's a couple of surprising photos that were not shared this time around that I will share in 5 years. The good Lord willing.
I can't wait.
Prize.
I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. Well, thank you all for watching. We are running out of time, so we will see you round the corner.
bye.